Yo guys, welcome to Wasted Wisdom, episode, what are we now, 6? Yeah, 6. Thanks for joining us, thanks for being here. So today, we're gonna talk about shrooms. And,
Yes.
and,
Probably that's not just shrooms, I guess weed as well.
just trips?
Yeah, trips.
Just trips, yeah.
And yes, you can trip on weed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, typically you get high, but can you trip? Definitely. Trip, bust up your face, scrape off your lip, yeah. Don't forget that cap for your teeth.
Say God.
Say God. Yeah.
So I've never seen a little green man. I don't know what that is, but
Wait, who has seen Little Green Man?
no, them always say when you smoke high and get very, very high, it's like a little green man or something like that. I've never seen that before. You can Google it.
I'll do it after. I thought you were talking about like some DMT shit,
No,
but
man.
they see aliens.
Yeah.
So Little Green Man,
Yes. It's a thing.
and you've never seen them.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen them either. Anyways, but yeah, so we actually tried to do this podcast earlier in the week when I had so when I had taken some mushrooms and thing. Was it 3 grams worth? And it just went south really fast. Like it started off decent, but then it just went south really fucking fast. But that then just caused me to be like, yo, Mark, I can't do this now. I have to be by myself. I have to go through all this shit. And I think the reason I tend to have this experience, because this is not the first time this has happened, is because when I do shrooms, it leads me to a point. Thank you. It leads me to a point where it's like, sorry, no, that's not what I meant to say. When I do shrooms, I do it with the intention of kind of like, self-exploration and just realizing certain things about myself and that kind of shit. So pretty much, be careful what you ask for, because that's what you're gonna get. But it's kind of like what Carl Jung always says, like there's no coming into consciousness without pain. Okay, he didn't always say that, he's dead, so I can't really say he always said that, but he used to say that. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. The trip went south, and then I had no choice but to kind of just go along for the ride, and certain interesting things came up. I feel like I'm talking too long though,
Why?
and then I feel very self-conscious about it.
No, man, talk, man.
Alright. Yeah.
People want to hear your experience.
Fair enough. But yeah, so the first thing, well, I can't talk about the first thing because it's like too personal. But the second thing was basically about me realizing that, like, yo, the world is a lot more fucked up than we typically want to admit. Whereas, like, basically, like, the inner me just kind of came out and was just, like, listing all the different ways that people are just being fucked over on Earth. I mean, if it's not climate change, it's, obviously the racial tension that doesn't just exist in North America, it exists all over the place. Like, you can't necessarily be black everywhere and be perfectly fine. Shit, man, you can barely be black in Jamaica and be fine sometimes. Right? Because they will stereotype you based on the lightness of your skin tone or the darkness of your skin tone or whatever the fuck. So there's that. Then there's just, food in and of itself, and the fact that food actually has certain toxins and poisons in it, and that we farm with some of these toxins. Then there's the fact of just, the psychological bullshit of just parenting.
Yeah.
Right? That alone.
Man.
That alone. Because, like, even the depths of that, I don't even think modern psychology even understands the depths of that. Because I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. I think I had this conversation with you as well. Where basically it was like, yo, like there's a lot of, like, when you're growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear about what a pedophile is,
Yeah.
you think to yourself, oh, it's like a very rare thing.
Right.
But in reality, you get old and you kind of start to realize
Yeah.
this is not as rare as I
Bro,
thought.
like you look back and you're like, wait. But I remember this girl that was in high school with me, and the bus driver was with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school, I never saw a problem with it because it was so
Come on.
common. But now when I get older, I'm like, wait, that was not a good
That's not okay.
thing.
Yeah. You know, when you see the sixth form girl them there with some big youth, I'm like, oh wow, that girl must be like really cool and mature. No,
No.
it's the dude that's just not mature.
Exactly.
That's kind of the thing, and it's kind of fucked.
Yeah, because remember, even at Walmart's, like guys would just have conversations about how cool it is to know that we have women that are older than us, or have had encounters with women that are older than us.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my first encounter with a woman that was older than me, and she was like, "Yo." At the time, I was 14,
Okay.
14, 15, and she was like, "Yo, come to my room, cause I want to show you something." And it might sound like she might want to show me something on the computer or a laptop, but prior to her telling me to come to her room, there was a lot of groping, a lot of physical activity happening.
Mm-hmm.
And when you really look back at that now as an adult, you're like, but this woman was like 25 at the time, and I was 14. That's
crazy,
not
dog.
a good thing.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy. And I see that people will always assume it's like a man thing. Where like, oh yeah, these men are predators, all this fuck shit. If you ever see a man babysit children, yo, you just think there's something wrong, you just skin up your nose at that shit. But weirdly enough, women are like the silent fucking killers in this shit. They're doing it and no one is saying a word, no one knows. And it's like,
And that doesn't negate the fact that it happens to women.
of course. Of course, dog.
But, bro, it's just a widespread thing that just needs to be handled.
Yeah. I only brought it up because, like, yeah, the women, girls. And again, growing up, that was what I thought. I thought this was happening to my sisterins them, and it would make me like super upset. Except for the fact that, wait a second, this also happened to me.
You know. It's like, wait, oh yeah, but they told us it was cool. Because it was cool to go to school. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a big man, you know. So you want to see yourself? See the message, them? See them here?
Ratty dog.
I true you talk, dog.
Blood clots. Yeah, Gallis dog.
Yeah, Gallis.
Bumbleclaw, yo. Do you have a friend? Yeah, those type of shits.
Yeah, and it's so normalized for males. It's normalized.
Mm-hmm. But you know, another thing though is
amount of man can tell a story about how them help her was the first.
Yo, you know what? I don't have time to think about all those people that have, yo. First time I heard that shit, I was like, wow, dear Penthouse. You should write to Penthouse if Penthouse even still exists. But then it's like, but you can't though, because that's like basically a story of a pedophile.
Yeah.
So that would look kind of fucking weird. But yeah, dude. That's weird. I was even watching this video earlier today about like some rock songs of the 90s or whatever. And in one of the songs, I can't remember which one it was, the lyrics were like, dog, that don't sound like this you trying for dead with some little girl or some shit. And I'm like, bumbleclot.
We're not, are we going to make the podcast about that?
No, we're not. Sorry.
Because there's so many songs out there. When you listen to them now, you're like, but that's not right, though.
Yeah.
That's not. No.
That's true, dog. Even when I think about, like, I don't remember who did sing. It was Peekaboo by the Stylistics or one of them soul groups there. It's like peekaboo, ooh, ooh, I'm watching you. I'm like, what the fuck is a stalker? And then like one of my uncles did say, what you say? You don't hear the lyrics like that? That don't sound like some stalker song or something.
Listen.
And it was like, yo, you
Listen,
kind of right.
one of those songs that was ruined for me is Hello by Lionel Richie.
Oh shit.
Because I'm like, what do you mean outside the girl window? Hello, is it me you're looking for? What the hell?
Why would I be looking out?
That's
If I
so
was looking for
creepy.
you, wouldn't I be looking out the fucking window
That's
where you
so
are?
creepy. I can see it in your eyes. I'm like, no, brother, that's some stalker shit.
Yeah, but if you play it at fucking good times, I'm gonna be like, bow, 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 pull up song. Exactly, dog.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
shrooms.
yeah, and other fuck shit that happened, right? I don't even know if I want to talk about more depressing things. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't. Let's move on. So, yeah, so basically, that happened, and I guess the other stuff that happened was also just like super personal stuff, but I can get into some of this stuff because I think it's why is my tongue not working? That sounds weird. Anyway,
Why?
relevant to listeners. I was trying to say related. I'm like related. That's not the word. Yeah. Anyway, so I was saying to myself like, yo, and I've had this conversation with a sister before, another sister, different sister. And because we grew up together, and she was just like, yo, when I met it, you don't know, as a little girl, you don't want like get married and do all these things, and yeah, as a youth, that's what you want as well growing up, because you see that, and you see it in media, and you see it in life, and your parents had it, and da 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 da. So you just figure it's like a rite of passage. And then I thought to myself, or then I said to myself, whatever my enemy said to me, whatever. Like, you sure that this is what you want? Like, you want a relationship, you want to get married, you want all these things, or is it that just because? Is it because society?
The construct.
Right. Is it because the societal construct of marriage and relationships exists? That's why you want it? Because I'm willing to wager that you don't really want it for you. Maybe you do, but it sounds as if you've just been doing this because you've just been following people. You're just a follow flashy monkey, basically. And I thought to myself, like, okay, what if the rule was polyamory? Like, that's what everybody did. Everyone was doing polyamory. Would I still be looking for a monogamous relationship? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Probably not. It's very unlikely. I'd just be following fashion again.
And that's what, like, going on a trip really helps to, like, enlighten you about, certain things that you probably never really centered yourself enough. Sorry. You never centered yourself enough to really sit and think about these things. Because even like for me, when I went on my trip, and let me explain. So it wasn't like I smoked like 3 spliff or 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 brownies or anything like that. It was some THC oil, like raw THC and CBD oil. I usually take it for pain and for sleep, but this dosage, because again they don't have like the one that I use, they don't give you like a specific dosage to take.
Yeah.
And it is not something that's like, all right, you know that you're taking a pill, this is 1 milligram every time. It's like you don't have any, it's not measured, so you just
need
know,
like a scale or something.
right. So one night I was like, all right, I'm going to bed now. That pull out the dropper and took it, and within like 20 minutes I was in a different world.
A dazzling place you didn't know.
A dazzling place. Brethren, let me tell you, man, I've never experienced something like that. One thing I can like remember vividly was coming face to face with death.
Got it. Oh, sorry. Death. Sorry.
You know, like I don't know how to explain it. It's like I could see myself committing suicide,
Okay.
and I was like, wait. Why is my brain going this way? Why am I thinking about suicide?
Can I get
Why do I want to die?
Can I get a drop of this after the show? Yeah.
Why do I want to die? But I don't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I can't explain it. It's like it just literally just brought me face to face with the fact that if you value your life, live your life. Life is important.
Mm-hmm.
And it even showed me what I'd be missing out on if I committed suicide or if I died. And then there was another point where I was just sitting in the chair and it's like a vortex opened.
Okay.
And I like went into the vortex and I started just panicking about life, worrying about decisions I had to make at the time, like personal decisions. And I was like, wait, isn't this supposed to be fun? Why is this why is this letting me see stuff I don't want to think about or see? Letting me see things I don't want to see.
Trip and bust up your face. It's the bust up face part.
But then there was a moment of clarity where I was like, what you're seeing here is that you need to just make a decision. Make a decision that is true to you.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with yourself. And then it even tied back to the suicide and the death part of the whole trip where it was saying life is very short. And it's more important to do something with the time you've been given than to worry about not being able to do what you want to do. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Definitely, yeah.
And then I started worrying that I was going to die again because my heart started racing in my mind because I had someone there with me who actually took my pulse. I was like, brother, you're fine. But inside, I didn't feel fine because I was like, I'm going to die. I'm very thirsty. My heart is racing. I can't breathe. I can't sleep. This thing is supposed to help me sleep, but I can't sleep. Because all I'm wondering is if I'm falling into some delusion or I'm going to like be crazy for the rest of my life.
I tell you, dog. That's always the stereotype with the drugs thing, dog. Always like, what you know? I'm gonna kill myself. Fuck. Leave the drugs, dog. But always, no, touch it, dog.
So I couldn't sleep because I kept on waking up wondering, alright, am I here? Yes, I'm here.
I'm not dead.
Alright, I'm still here.
Pinch myself.
Literally, no.
I figured that.
Yeah, pinch myself, get up, look in the mirror. I was like, yeah, I do exist. I am there. I am right in this mirror, and the fact that I'm in this mirror, that means I am here. Wait, what if I am the guy in the mirror? Oh my God, am I trapped in this mirror?
All right, Mike. All right, Michael Jackson. I hear you loud and clear. Okay.
Am I trapped in this mirror? I was like, no. Let's go back to bed, bro. Go back to bed. But one thing that kept me grounded throughout the whole trip was the fact that I could just look at the time and see the time kept on changing. I was like, the fact that the time I look on the clock on the watch. I was like, yeah, alright, so it's now 1 o'clock. Let me check back in the next couple minutes and see what time it is. Okay, it's now 2. Okay, alright, so that means I am alive, I am here, and time is passing, so I'm not stuck in this void.
Vortex. Yeah.
And then I fell asleep and woke up and I was like, that was crazy.
That is crazy, dog. Did you see? All right, when you say there's a vortex you stepped into, like you actually saw a vortex.
Yeah, like there are like colors, and they're like multiple versions of myself going down into a hole. I don't know how to explain it.
Yo, this sounds like some midnight gospel shit.
I don't know how to explain it, bro.
I rate that still. I didn't have. I also had with the mushroom trip, the recent mushroom trip, I also saw a vortex for me. And but like I was in my room when I was listening to music. It's really the music that caused it to happen. Without it, I'm not sure if I would have seen it. But vortex came and it was just like swirling in my room.
Mhm.
It's almost like a bad Photoshop. Like dead serious. I'm just like, God, you could be more creative. Like this just look really like copy and paste it in. But anyway, so I couldn't like I did try to stretch my hand out, but it's like as I stretched my hand out, it's almost like it just like went into the background. Like, all right, I guess I can't go in there. Fine, I'm sorry. I won't try to jump in. My bad. But yeah, the visuals did chat. There were some Leaf of Life stuff. There was some like geometric patterns and spinning shit, and that's the good part. That's the part where I finally just shut the fuck up and just all right, I need to enjoy this trip as well. Let me listen to some music and just do that. So that was fun, but then it's weird. The music just kind of would say something, and I'm like, okay, stop the song, all right, or the song will stop, and I'm like, all right, have a talk about this, and I just start talking to myself again.
Yeah, I think the bad part of my trip is that I never listened to any music at the time because again it was bedtime. I wasn't prepared for this. And I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but you ever like watching a show or a movie or whatever you're watching on TV, and you can like pick out all the flaws.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah, man, pick out all the flaws in the show. And I was like, but that don't make sense. But wait, that cup is still empty, but they said they were thirsty.
This nigga can't act.
Wait, like even in Riverdale, why them never drink the milkshakes? They just never drink the milkshakes.
This is a prop dog.
I go through all the episodes like, but they never drink the milkshakes. What is crazy? Why are the milkshakes and you're not drinking? This is not real. This is poor acting. They should be drinking the milkshake. Crazy, man. Crazy.
I tell you. I think we're going to talk about Riverdale.
There was another thing too, because I remember even watching Extraction High once. I was like, wait, him jump up, you know the...
No, what is it?
It's this movie that came out a few months ago with Hemsworth. That's his name, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the guy that plays Thor.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And he jumped off a cliff into like this deep river thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then them cut away from that scene and you see him walking home. So it's like, how the hell did he climb up that cliff? Why them never show us that? Because I don't know how you jump
Inconvenient.
This don't make sense. Yeah, and that's where my brain usually goes. And that's why sometimes I like watching movies or series or whatever when I'm high, because it really makes things very interesting.
It would.
Because I remember even watching It, the horror movie.
Yeah.
High. I watched it high, and I was like, "But
wait, was I with you?
Yeah, man, you were there.
That time. Okay.
And you remember I was laughing the whole time because I was like, "But if you just get a gun and shoot this thing, it done.
Roll credits.
It done. But this thing, oh, you want to play?" Or come down into the I was like, brother, just
why are you going there?
Why are you going down there?
You're 8. You don't know shit, nigga. What the fuck? You really see some clown in a sewer and you going to work. That's why you're dead, you know? That's why you fucking dead. That's why you should have fucking dead.
Yeah, well, you can't get another boat? Like, really?
It's a paper boat, man. Time's hard. Fuck me, man. Come in like it's a blood clot. You have to lose.
But I was like, I remember even the part where they were like passing a haunted house and I was like, let's go inside. I was like, why would you go inside though? I was like, this is why there was no black person in this crew.
Yeah. Stephen King, thank you. You represent the community well.
Yeah, but yeah, back to the trip though. But yeah, it really brought deep, dark thoughts that I've had and suppressed right in front of me. So it brought them right in front of me. Like, you literally can see it in front of you.
That's the thing, dog. And it's funny because, like, sometimes I think to myself, like, why is it that in order to have these lessons, it have to be painful? But it really does. That's just the unfortunate truth of the whole thing. If you really want to learn, unfortunately, you have to be made uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think it's probably that's the fear as well.
Yeah, I suppose
Fear,
that adds to it,
the
yeah.
fear of like seeing or even thinking about these things or even being aware that they could happen.
Yeah, because that's what you're hiding from it in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like, no, just like bouncing back to you. That same fear that you felt, you're just feeling it amplified based on the shit that you were hiding from.
And then that's what I learned, that to really overcome that fear, you have to embrace it.
Exactly.
Which is why you came face to face with it in the first place.
Yeah. It's like the first time I did shrooms, dog, and I was just in the living room, like couldn't breathe. Very similar to you, where I was like looking in the mirror, I was sweating, I was just like, yo, dog, we're going to make it through this. We're going to do it, dog. We're going to do it. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. All right. Then I go back in the living room, and as I tell you all the time, dog, I tell everybody this, nobody couldn't tell me that my house was not a spaceship. I was in space, dog. Interplanetary alliance shit, dog. Right? Zooming through the galaxies, dog. You see it? And I was just like, I need to like figure out my shit because I feel like I'm going to die. I can't breathe. But one of the big lessons was like, dog, you know why? You know why it feels like you can't breathe? It's really just because like there's something within you that is choking yourself.
Yeah.
There's something inside of you that is not allowing something to just come forth and be free.
And it's also linked to anxiety.
Oh, definitely.
It's linked to anxiety as well. That's what I learned as well. Because when you start becoming afraid, you start losing your breath, your pulse start racing. Even when it's not racing, it feels like it's racing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because and that's why I realized like going on a trip versus like taking a brownie for the first time. You remember the first time you ever took a brownie?
Dog. Yacht. Mongols. It was really good, dog.
All I can remember is that I was brought back to my childhood and things that I used to like doing, and I didn't do them anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine was nothing like that, but continue. I'll talk about
Mine
mine
was
after.
very interesting because I used to collect coins, like very old coins. I don't know. It might not sound that interesting, but
you did like it?
Yeah, I did like it, and I remember, and I also remembered it bringing me back to when I used to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so weird. It's like, I don't know how to explain. I guess that's what they call it, a trip. Because it literally just brings you from
a journey,
place to place, like place to place in your life.
Why did they call it a trip?
Things that you've like forgotten.
You ever realize like a trip is a journey, but a trip is also when you buck your toe and drop?
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know.
That's so weird. Yeah, continue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was very fascinating. Would I do it again? Yes.
Yeah, definitely. As painful as it is initially, I would do it again. But yeah, my first time doing brownies, I unlocked my psychic abilities. 1, 2, I was watching Interstellar with some people I didn't know. Some people I knew, some people I didn't know. And to this day, I don't know if it's me fuck up, if the show did pause, or that's just what the show is supposed to be. Because I've not watched it since. But basically, when you watch it, it's like it's the show with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, and it starts out like Interstellar, come on screen, blah blah blah, and then it's just silence, and you just see an astronaut way in the background, and just Earth on the left hand side, and then you're just watching absolute silence, and then you realize, Bombaclad! The fucking astronaut is coming close. Oh shit, that's what's been happening. Oh, I thought you paused it. I thought the fucking tape stopped or some shit. Tape, like it's fucking 1996. The fucking DVD stopped or some shit. Yeah, right. Like that's from Blockbuster, right? You get some dominoes too. But anyway, but yeah. And so to this day, dog, I'm like, is it that my perception was warped as fuck, or was it that the show actually was just slowly bringing into frame the character? I don't even know. I don't remember that. I remember shit.
I think one of the most fun things to do when you're high is to watch Animal Planet.
I still don't do this, but this sounds. I should do it one
You
day.
should. I remember I started crying, dog. The guy was like, yes, the polar bear, the ice caps are melting, and the polar bear has to swim to find another ice shelf, and they may die swimming. And you just see this polar bear like swimming for miles in a bro.
Bumbleclad.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start crying, bro. I'm gonna start crying. I was like, why are we doing this to the environment? I was like, and then he found land, and then it was like this land overrun by walruses. And then they cut to the fact that walruses kill themselves trying to get back to the water because, brother, it was just a whole fascinating
wild, dog.
thing, bro.
And depressing.
Even though thinking about it, I'm like, I'm just sad, bro. Like, this is what's happening in the world. Like all coupled with the whole racism and the Black Lives Matter movement, the environment itself is just deteriorating slowly but surely.
Yeah, I mean, we do plant trees to replace certain shit. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do about Australia.
But I don't even know.
I
Bro.
don't know. I mean, I think they are still able to plant some stuff, but some of that land, some of that soil, fuck up.
Well, I feel like if people are really aware, and this is why I tell you, media is so powerful, because media not bringing real environmental stuff. Yeah, they might bring a hurricane or a tornado, but like,
as long as there's drama and people's lives in, yeah, then they'll do it.
Yeah, but like, when you really think about the animals and how they're going extinct, Jaja, I don't know, that documentary really touched me, bro. I don't know if it was the weed or coupled with the weed, but it was just really sad.
It was probably.
And they actually just showed the walruses like jumping or tumbling down the hillside to their death. And then like at the bottom of the hill, at the bottom of the cliff, there's like tons of dead walruses.
Dog, what is the rating on this show? R? It have to be in a dog.
Kids watch this in a bro.
Dog, that's fucked, man. That's like some Land Before Time trauma shit.
Like, yo, Jano. You know, poor Antarctic creatures.
Good.
Poor Arctic creatures. Every one of them.
It's fucking wild, dog. I don't even know what the fuck to say to that shit.
Oh yeah, no, we just took a dark turn. I'm sorry.
Alright, let's talk about, I don't know.
Save the environment, care people. In whatever way you can do to like help the environment.
Recycle, even though they're a recycling plant, really.
Something. Plant
Stop
a tree.
throwing shit in the gully.
Plant
For
a
fuck's
tree.
sake.
Rescue an animal. Something.
Take care of your mental health.
Yeah.
Something, dog. Something. Trust me, the very little you do has a ripple effect on the larger whole. Every mickle make a muckle, and you know, one coca full basket and all that stuff. See, I made it light. See,
Fine.
Alright, you want to do some questions?
Yeah, man, we can do some questions.
Alright, so first question. Do you ever just think about the first time you met someone and compare it to where you guys are now? And it's like, wow, who knew this would happen?
Well, I think to answer this question perfectly is a setup to talking about my relationship.
Oh, Zine. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I get why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
setup,
yeah. I
because
totally see why.
that's one of the greatest examples of meeting someone and never knowing that, yo, this is where you would end up.
Yeah.
And it's not like the typical, oh, I met this girl on the road and I took her number and talked to her tomorrow and we're in a relationship. No. I've known my significant other for years. So I've known
Mm-hmm.
her for like, well, how long? Like almost, we call it 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when I met her, it was through a friend of mine, and she was cool. She was alright.
Okay.
You meet somebody who's like, yeah, she cool. Alright, cool. She's funny, and this was in university, and we would always randomly run into each other on campus. But again, it wasn't a situation where like, yo, I want this girl or da 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 da. It was more like, oh, this girl is cool. Alright, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't see her again for, it was like 2 or 3 years. And then she would randomly pop up again. And we never exchanged numbers or anything. Because at the time I was not interested in a relationship per se. And then after like seeing her 3 years later, I was in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
right? And still wasn't interested. So it was more like, hey, you good? Alright, cool. And then I remember it was in like the 5th year or the sixth
Sixth year.
year of
Mm-hmm.
knowing her that I took her number and I never messaged her.
Wow. Really playing the long game, dog.
Never messaged her. It was like, oh, cool. Because I saw her one day and I think we were working at the hospital at the time and I was like, oh, hey, girl. And then we were just talking. I was like, you don't look too bad. This was like, just like casual. Because again, we were just casual friends. Not like any deep friendship or anything. Just casual friends. I was like, wait, why don't I have your number? And she's like, yeah, why do I have your number? Like, very casual. It wasn't I am inciting this to be in a relationship or
Yo, my girl, man, look you know.
I look you kind of thing. No. It was more like this cool person linking with another cool person.
Mm-hmm.
And took her number, never messaged her. Because, again, at the time, I wasn't really looking for anything at all. I remember I used to do this little thing on WhatsApp where every morning I would post some motivational quotes, um, personal motivational quotes, as well as quotes from other people.
Mm-hmm.
And she would like randomly comment every now and then. And then is when we started talking because I realized she had an interest in the stuff I posted. And then we would talk about what I posted and and then we started getting closer because then we started talking about her, talking about me, talking about life, talking about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we spoke, is the closer we got, and the more we realized we liked each other. And it so ended up that we ended up being in a relationship. And yeah. So, and that was like, what, 8 years?
Eat your heart out, Nicholas Sparks. You know,
Like
about a love story
years.
like this, dog.
When I met her, I never knew this is where we would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like those stories because they're just like, it's like that slow burn, just like things just kind of just ended up.
Slow cooked pork.
Yeah, okay, man. It's tender as shit. What can I say? So, yeah, so I don't know. I like that kind of stuff because it's just like, yeah, it wasn't just contrived and, yo, ma, look you. I try and get you. Da, 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 da. You know, it's just natural, dog. I really like that shit. Yeah. I guess I don't know. Answering this question is annoying. Why did I even choose this? I mean, I thought about it, and I'm like, there's tons of people where it's like, yo, there was like a certain closeness that over time just dissipated, and then there's some people who I never even liked them. I actually was trying to stay the fuck away from them. Yeah, I think those. Yeah, I think I have to go down that road. Like, yeah, there's some people where it's like, I see you. I know what you're all about. Stay away from me, please. I'm staying away from you. I don't want nothing to do with you. Just, just don't stay. Just don't stay. Forget our memories. Forget our possibilities. I'm sorry, I had to do it. It's a Linkin Park song. That's why I did it. But yeah, so I was just like, yeah. But then life happens, and then what? I don't even know. I don't know if it's them conspire for do it, or I subconsciously am a fuckery person who conspired to do it. I don't fucking know. Or life is just fuckery. I go with option C. Life is fuckery, and it just conspired that, oh, we have to interact, or we have to talk, or we have to get close. Oh, I have to see that. Oh, you're not that bad. Oh, I'm not that bad. Oh, you know, I misperceived you. Oh, I misperceived you too. Da, 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 da. And then at some point in time, there's a certain proximity that is like, well, shit, you can't left now, right? And this is not just like romantic shit. This is also friendship.
Friendship, yeah.
Right? And it just gets to a point where it's like, there's such a closeness that you can't even fathom not being close. Unfortunately, sometimes the way you start is how you finish. So the very things that I saw at the start that were problematic to me and why I kind of wanted to stay away, not necessarily in a get lost fucking fuckface type way, but just like, I don't trust this. I see certain things, or I feel a certain way. There's a certain vibe you're giving off, and then I don't want to get fucked up because of it. Yeah, well, I got fucked up because of it anyway, and there was really nothing I could do about that shit.
True.
So, in light of that, in light of the question, like, you see where it started, and you see where it ended. Like, is that like a trip? It's trust me, it definitely fucks me up, because you would have hoped that that middle part was just gonna be like the consistent theme.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, no, I have that, like, the flip side to that story.
Okay.
Where I met this girl, a good friend of mine. I think about her. Even to this day, I think about her because, again, she's really a good friend. And when I say we would do everything together, I mean, we'd anywhere we're going, she would be there. You notice I even say anywhere we're going, anywhere I'm going, anywhere
we're going, we're there.
You know. The friendship, when I met her in university as well, same year one, because you can even use the same timeline. Same year one in university, met her the same year, different connection, like we part every day. I'm gonna say every day, I mean every day, even on Saturdays sometimes. Right? And anywhere I'm going, she would be there. Anywhere she's going, I'd be there. And I genuinely thought that friendship would have lasted longer than it did. That friendship only lasted for 3 years, 4 years.
I just figured out who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
3 years, bro. Friendship lasted 3 years. And I said we were very close. And when you look at that, it's like you wonder, like, how is life like this? Because then you look at the one person who I've never really been pairing with that much, who ended up being around for much longer. Yeah, and versus the other person who, like, every day we used to chill, and we thought the friendship would never end.
Yeah.
and it just went away, and then now you just left with like the carcass of it.
Damn. Roadkill.
You know what I mean? And every now and then you look back on the carcass and you're like, yo, this could have been something else.
Like an actual animal.
Yeah.
That's still living and
You
breathing.
know what I mean? It's just dead. It's almost like you go to the cemetery and just visit the tombstone every now and then. Here lies the friendship that was.
Put on some rose.
Put on a rose and then move on.
Pour out some rosé. Small fallen soldiers.
Yeah. Well, then who to tell that friendship might not come back? I don't know. Because again, that's another thing that I've always found fascinating about life. You can't really dictate how this thing goes. Because out of the blue, it might end up that we become friends again. I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess it
might not be the same, but...
Well, what I was going to say to that was just like, it depends, because based on the reason that the thing fell apart in the first place, if those factors are still there, then it's going to be very hard for that to happen.
True.
So that's the thing. There's a certain there was a compatibility that was there, but it was eventually going to meet an end point, because like it could only just roll on for so long and no more.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's like, well, now I actually need something different, and if you can't provide that, then I can't stay. So yeah, but sometimes people can't really respect that, and I mean it makes sense, because like you don't want to lose what you have. You don't want to lose the friendship. You don't want to lose the connection. As toxic as it might be in certain places, it's still a connection. So I get it. All right, so next question. What the fuck was it again? Yeah. What happens when you stop doing things you love? You either get depressed or you stop doing it because you are depressed.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, as I said to you, unless you're evolving.
That too, yeah.
You're evolving into doing something that not that so say for instance you like playing guitar, and then you evolved into being a producer, so you don't play guitar anymore. So it's like you got to like a next level.
Yeah, it's true. That could be it.
But the most common cause is depression to me.
Yeah.
Most common cause is depression. People stop doing what they like to do because they either have to go work or pay bills or worry about adult life.
Yeah. Life is interfering with what you love, basically. And sometimes, like, in terms of life interfering with what you want to do, it can be just just relationship stuff. Not necessarily, like, again, not romantic, just there's some kind of conflict, and because it's unresolved, it kind of just starts to gnaw away at just the normal stuff that you would have been doing otherwise. And because of that, you suffer, and then you're like, why can't I do this? And then you try to find the energy to do it, but you can't find it.
Yep.
Because of something that is
before.
Yeah, it happens because of something kind of unrelated.
And it's like a mental block.
Yeah, exactly right. It's one of those tragedy things, but solution-wise, you would have to really do some introspection, because it's not necessarily just like, oh, I stopped playing guitar because somebody tells me that my guitar playing sucks, or because my friends say I must stop playing, or some other shit. But basically, it just involves you really going in. Like, look at the things that are kind of off. Look at what happened prior to you stopping playing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So as long as you do that, and try kind of work your way, like retrace your steps, basically, you could probably figure it out. And again, you might be surprised that it seemed like it's not related, and you might even like completely dismiss it. But
because even you stop playing, it's not only like necessarily trauma. It can also be that you prioritize certain things in your life, and it's like you don't realize your happiness is important.
Yeah, that is very true. Instead, you kind of just think, oh, well, I need to survive. Surviving is more
Yeah,
important.
exactly.
But yeah, survive and not happy. It's kind of like a quiet death in a way.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope this helps. You have anything else to add?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, cool. I think we can conclude the episode there. All right. Thanks for joining us again, guys. It's been Wasted Wisdom.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. So, still have any questions? Just shoot it over at any of our handles, or you can follow the Wasted Wisdom JA handle. We have that up and running now. You can follow that. Shoot questions there, whatever you'd like to do. But thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.